Hello. Hi, guys. Happy Wednesday. Hopefully, everybody's having a good week. Hello, Alex. John Evans is listening, but he has to pick up his daughter from work. Gotcha. Randy Jameson. Hello from Johnson County, Arkansas. Well, howdy. Auntie Ann is in the house. Hello, Greg. Hello. I appreciate the flamingo. David Glunt. What's going on, David? Lonely Hitchhiker Kent. Howdy. Mike Birch. Hello. Looks really crisp tonight. Good. I uploaded it about 47 times. So, and here's the hard part as a creator, I can't see the thumbnail because of the way I have to look at it. It doesn't show me if it's really blurry or not. Like I have to really like go out and in, and then I have to like, because it'll look fine. And then when I repost it is when I can see that it's like, oh, it's not clear. So I don't know. I give up. Cuddly Texan is lurking while he figures out dinner. Mike was giving me a hard time this week because I don't usually cook like every day because there's only 3 of us. And so to make anything, I usually make enough to feed an army because I'm Italian. And so usually we have leftovers for a couple days, and I usually eat like a salad, and I don't always eat what I've made for everybody else. Like I'll usually eat something lighter than they eat. So, I had cooked on like every day the last several days. So our refrigerator is packed right now. I made a venison stew on Monday because it was Veterans Day, and I know Mike likes venison, so I made something that I knew he would like, and I wanted it to be ready before he had his meeting. So like I, got that ready, and then I had made something else the night before. I'd made like, what did I make? I made like a big thing of kale. Or no, that was 2 nights before. That was Saturday. I made a big thing of kale, which there's still leftovers, and I made too much rice when I made the stew, and I made something else with the kale. I don't remember what I made. Oh, and I made a big thing of pasta, so they had pasta one night because I made a batch of it to take to my friend who has a sick family member. And then last night I made a big batch of mac and cheese to take over there, homemade mac and cheese. And so I made a separate tray for them. And so our refrigerator, it looks like it's already Thanksgiving in our refrigerator because it's just packed with stuff right now. So, but I got to do it. So 8 bean soup with ham hocks tonight. Oh, that sounds good. I'm actually defrosting 2 chickens right now because I'm going to make, we've got our friend Nathan, who you guys may remember from Freedom Weekend, who helped finish up with the electrical in the shop so that Bougie Tim could plug in, and Auntie Ann, of course, but we like to give Tim a hard time about it. But anyway, he was helping finish up with that, and they're coming over to, he operates heavy equipment. So he's bringing his little trenching, well, not little, but his trenching thing. And they're going to do some of the water trenching. And then tomorrow Mike and Ryan are going to get a bunch of fencing supplies and Pontotoc. And Friday, we're going to Home Depot. There's a lot going on. And so anyway, I'm defrosting a couple birds because it's going to be Ryan, 2 of his sons, and Nathan and his crew, and us. So I'm making like a roasting pot of chicken soup, of my famous homemade chicken soup, which is good practice because I need to make a big batch of it in a couple of weeks for our church parade, Christmas parade night, because we host the soup night and I'm in charge of that. So I need to get my ratios back on track with that anyway. That turkey was so big that might take a while to cook. I know. And we're going to be cooking it at Beth's house, Beth and Ryan's house. So, yeah. In fact, the video you guys will see Friday I edited most of it today. I just have a little bit more left to do on it. It's hysterical. I was laughing the entire time I was editing it. So I had gone to help my friend who has a sick family member. And so I was like, look, I can't be here to help with, they were going to work on a couple things, but it come a flood that day. So they ended up not working on the truck. And they were like, well, let's they cleaned out all the freezers and reorganized stuff. And they were making room for the turkeys essentially. And so, um, yeah. So anyway, they bagged the birds and it's hysterical. So you guys will see that video Friday. But yeah, that one tom is giant. I mean, it's not record breaking by any degree, but he is up there with the other large broad breasted that we did several years ago that got up into the mid 30s. So he's a biggin. He's a biggin. But you know, Martyr Martyr Colonel, or is Colin the name? I don't know. Or Colin maybe? It's hard to know with it being all one word like that. Memories. Hello. It's good to be missed. Dale Wallace says loaded potato soup for supper here tonight. Ooh, that is a good one. It's not a particularly healthy soup, but it is a yummy one for sure. Brian Wilkerson, hello. Carl Lewis, thumbs up. That's right, guys. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up on your way in. Hello, Larry Parrish. The turkey vid was heavy. Yeah, Alex had a hard time with that video. Look, I get it. Processing your own meat is not for everybody. Some people are like, oh, once I raise an animal, I can't process it. Some people can't handle the idea of their food being processed. But, that's how meat gets put on the table. That's just, there is no way around that. If you're eating meat, that's where it comes from. And honestly, and I stand behind this, the animals that we raise have better lives and quicker ends than any animal that you buy that's been packaged in the grocery store. And that is a priority for us. So I stand behind that. But it's the reality of it. That's, and we didn't even show, a chunk of that because of YouTube. But, I would say to smoke it, but it wouldn't fit in Mike's smoker. I know. So our buddy Ryan, who will be cooking it at their house, he has one of those big green egg ones, and I think it'll fit in there. I don't know if that's how he wants to cook it. They do have, like, they have a big industrial fridge. I don't know if their oven, like, they have a double oven like I do, but I don't know if, like, they took the racks out and put it sideways, if it would still fit. Because I don't think their oven is anything like special in that sense. So yeah, I think it may have to be cooked outside. But honestly, doing the turkey on the barbecue has been my favorite way to do it. We have done deep frying. We have done, smoking. We have done, obviously traditional oven. And honestly, doing it on the barbecue, like wrapped in tinfoil and everything, that was my favorite way to do it. I take that back. I have done a smaller turkey. I've done like a midget white, which is usually somewhere between 9 and 12 pounds. I have done that in my Orion cooker, and we got that years ago. And I love that thing. It's my favorite way to cook chicken. It's my favorite way to cook poultry, really. It comes out like amazing. So it's sort of like if an oven and a barbecue had a baby, I guess you could say. But it has like a charcoal ring around the outside, and you put the charcoal around, and you put the bird in, or I mean, you cook other things in it too, but you put the meat in the thing in the middle, and then you light it off, and you put a little bit of coal on top and light that off, and it just cooks, and it cook a whole turkey, and like a normal size turkey, like a 20-pound turkey. It'll cook it, I think it's supposed to cook it in like an hour and a half, and it's amazing. So you could dress those birds, but watching seemed different. I get it. I get it. Yeah, I get it. That's right. We know who's having fresh turkey for Thanksgiving. That's right. Out and about. No doubt. Neil, hello everyone. Sorry I'm late. Took a couple minutes to get back in the house. Just threw out your back. Oh no, I'm sorry. I used to have double ovens and nothing large would fit. Yeah. So my oven at the old house, our last house, was a regular oven, and I could fit a pretty big bird in there. I've done a large, you know, 25 to 30 pounder in there before, over the years. Um, with no problems, just take the other racks out and it's fine. The problem being is then you can't cook all of your other things. So I would have to make sure all of my other sides were ready and cooked. And then I had like one of those 3-pot crock pot things. And then I would have all these other crock pots going with the potatoes and the beans and the this and the that. So um, it was always a little bit of a timing thing to get everything because we would host Friendsgiving. So all our friends would come over and it would be like 30 people. And it was like trying to get all that food ready, was always a little tricky, But I like doing that kind of stuff. Today was my first day back in the shop since I cut the end of my thumb off. Oh, hopefully it went smoothly and you didn't cut anything else off. What was the name again? The name of what? Of the cooker. It's called the Orion cooker. We did a video, this was years ago, like, I don't know, 5, 6 years ago. They sent us one to try it, and I love that thing. So when I cook outside, that's what I cook on or in. It's really easy to you can't mess it up. Like you just can't. So it's like you don't have to babysit it the way you do your oven or your barbecue. It's just literally like you legitimately cannot mess it up. You just figure out like how many pounds and then you go from there. And it's just like textbook perfect every time. So I like that one. Our flipping farm stand. What's going on, Don? Howdy, y'all. Hi, Keith. What's happening? My tractor broke worse than any I've seen on YouTube videos. My front axle shaft came out and the wheel came off while driving down the road at 15 miles an hour. I got it back from the dealership this afternoon. Oh, yikes, Dale. Sorry to hear that. That's no bueno. No bueno at all. Barbie says, I have a small RV stove, so I have not cooked a turkey for 4 years. You know what, though, Barbie? This time of year, you can find the big, like, they'll do like 2 turkey breasts packaged in a ball. And I've seen them at Kroger. I've seen them at like the Walmart supercenters that have like the big grocery stores inside in with the turkeys. And sometimes they're kind of off by themselves. You kind of have to like know what you're looking for because they don't usually it doesn't say it, but they're great. Like for just a small oven like that, they're only about like this big. And it's like 2 little breasts like put together. And you just cook it. And I've made those for the 3 of us on Thanksgiving sometimes when we didn't want to do a whole bird when it was just the 3 of us. Because we've had Friendsgiving and then so we did our big turkey for that, but on the actual day we wanted to have a little bit of turkey. I've done those before and that's worked really well for us. Or we've used our own turkey breast like off of our midgets or something when we still had midget turkeys because they're a lot smaller and that was perfect for the 3 of us. So, and we still had leftovers. So, a beaver ate my thumb. Y'all know that song? No, that made me think of that right now when he was like, sorry about your thumb. We have an old stove in the basement that is a double oven and a bread warmer. It was an original oven in the house that was built in 1940. Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. I love like old ovens and the old refrigerators and all of that. Like, I love that kind of vintage 50s Frigidaire stuff. Oh, and the great thing about those appliances is they freaking last forever. And they're really cool looking and they have really neat features that for some reason over the years went away. That just you don't have those anymore. Like at church, we have a stand, like this is an industrial thing and it's obviously a lot older, but it's not quite like vintage like that. It's vintage. It's probably from like the late 70s or early 80s. It's like my age. But but it's like a warming rack and you can set the different temperatures. So like if we're cooking for like a big church meal, we can stick everything in the racks in the warming oven. I love that thing. I mean, it's not, it doesn't make sense to have something like that in your own home, but you know, and I recently, probably within the last year, and I don't know if my old oven did this or not because I don't remember like seeing it on there, but maybe it did. Um, these ovens in here both have well, they're the same oven, just one on top of each other. They have that delay start feature. So like if I'm going to be at church, but I'm making something that needs to be, cooked in the morning for Sunday lunch, but I don't have time between church and when Sunday lunch is to like start cooking, I can set it to start while church is going on. And by the time I get home, it's ready to be checked and like, maybe just needs a little bit longer. That's my favorite like feature. A 10-pound bird spatchcocked. There you go. There you go. Yeah, the ovens are small. Yeah, I get you. I get you. You're welcome, Barbie. Yeah, you'll have to look for those turkey breasts because that's perfect if you're by yourself or if you have a smaller oven that you can't do a whole bird. You can still brine it and season it and cook it just like you would. I don't think it has the skin on it though. I'm trying to remember. It's been a little while since I made one. I think I still have one in the freezer though. Because usually they have them on sale right after Thanksgiving, and I'll buy a couple of them. And then like randomly I'll be like, I'm gonna make a turkey. Like, you know. So Patty McCullough, hello from Canada. Yes, still working. That darn son of a gun. I know. I know, I'm telling you. But yeah, I have to find out. We're definitely, gonna use that turkey for Thanksgiving at Beth and Ryan's because they're hosting their family and invited us to it. Um, and I'm trying to remember what sides I made last time that they invited us. And I don't remember. It's like I don't know what I'll be in charge of bringing, but besides obviously the turkey. But like that's not me cooking it. That's me like giving them something foul. Um, I know I made my cranberry sauce, um, but I feel like there was something else I made, but I don't remember what it was. Maybe it was a dessert. I don't remember. We only use the old oven for Thanksgiving and Christmas since we are baking so much at once. Yeah. And I will say that is the nice thing about having a double oven, which I never had that before. So now I'm like spoiled. The funny thing about that is though, now a lot, like I have used it a few times when I've needed different things in different ovens for different things. Like we used it, of course, for Freedom Weekend. We had both ovens going, doing different things or whatever. But here, because we don't have a pool here, so we're not having those kinds of parties where we're having a lot of people on the weekends and stuff. And our house isn't like a party house. Like it's not laid out in a way that like is comfortable to have a lot of people. Um, it's cozy and I like my house, but it's not open enough to like have a lot of people in um, the way it's laid out. And um, we don't have any like we have our adopted family out here, but their houses are set up for like massive families and ours really isn't. So we tend to go over there for things and we don't really have them over here because we couldn't fit everybody here. Like not everybody would fit. So we just make things and bring it. We Bunko was talking turkey in that video. Yes, he was, Greg. He cracks me up. That cat loves processing day. He loves it when they come back with a deer. He loves it. Like I have footage that doesn't even make it where he's just like going to town on the deer. Like, and like going to town on the birds and the blood and the guts and all that. Like he loves it. Like the first time when he was still like a young kitten, the first time that Frankie got her first deer, and he was like rolling around in the blood. He came back up to the house like just covered in blood, and I was like, "Oh my goodness!" Like, ah, crazy. I'm telling you, absolutely insane. Yeah, so it's been a little bit of a crazy week. Trying to help my friend who's got a sick family member, and so got some things later this week that I need to help her with some stuff earlier this week. Um, and so I've been once again, behind on doing sipping and spillins this week because I haven't been working on stuff other than editing this week, um, and kind of doing that. So, you know, is what it is. It's a pain going up and down the basement, but our kitchen oven can't fit everything. Yeah, I get that. I know. I know. He's a gross little boy, Auntie Anne, but he's my gross little boy. I do love that silly cat. Thunderstick. Hey, what's going on? How much does your daughter help out when you cook Thanksgiving dinner? When I've cooked a full Thanksgiving dinner, she was too young to help. So she would help me bake. Like the last time I made like full Thanksgiving dinner, we had a Friendsgiving. She'll help me bake, like if I'm doing scones or cinnamon rolls, because we always alternate. So I would do scones either on Thanksgiving and then do cinnamon rolls Christmas, or vice versa, because I make them from scratch, like the whole thing. And so, and they take a while to make, the cinnamon rolls in particular. So, she would help with that, but she's helped me make mashed potatoes now a few times. But she was too young to really help me with that. I have taught her how to do stuff in the kitchen, because I do want her to be well versed in like stuff outside and stuff in the house. Like she knows how to do her own laundry, she knows how to clean stuff, she knows how to do, I would say, a little beyond just basic cooking. Um, but it's not something that she's really likes to do a lot. Like the cooking isn't really her jam, but she knows how to do it. So, but she's never tried to really fully help me with a full Thanksgiving meal. So probably not until she gets married, and that will we cook like a real Thanksgiving meal here, just because we usually go somewhere else. Like I think I made one last year, but I made a really scaled down version and I just did it because I wanted to. Um, so, and there's been a couple years where I've made like a really scaled down version because it was just going to be the three of us, back when we lived in California. So, you know, what does my shirt say? It says, first of all, I'm a delight. So I ordered a 3 Mississippi hoodie yesterday. I wear my Ridge Life one all the time and it's so comfortable. I figured since they are coming from the same place, it should be nice too. Yeah, that's right. It's the same stuff, just different letters on it. Basically, that's true, David. Well, appreciate that. Thank you. I usually wear one of our sweatshirts when I'm in a live, but I had just washed it because I couldn't find my other one, and so I put this one on instead. Joe Jacobson, hello, prayers and blessings all from Eastern Iowa. Well, howdy. Glenn and Shannon Salty Life, hello. Thank you, Barbie. That's right. Oh, he's being loud. He forgets I'm out here on a live. I don't know if y'all can hear him. He's deep in a work call. That's right. MT Homestead, what's going on? Mike and Terry in the house. What's happening? What's going on? I know. So yeah, so I got to find out what and we do. So it's there, I think I've told you guys before, it's like part of the same family. So like Thanksgiving morning, we do like basically like a brunch over at Miss Ann's, and um, I'll make either scones or cinnamon rolls for that. Or maybe egg cups, because it depends on what everybody else is making. And then we'll, whatever I need to make for actual Thanksgiving at Beth and Ryan's, I'll make. So we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, so I won't have to do a whole lot of cooking. So I'll be all gravy. But I am helping with the church's, what is it, the day before Thanksgiving. It's that Wednesday. I think it's that Wednesday. I need to check my calendar. I think it's that Wednesday. So the night before Thanksgiving, I will not be going live that night because I volunteered to help with, there's another church that hosts like the town's Thanksgiving night the night before. And our church, for however long they've been doing this, has been responsible for making the mac and cheese. And so I have to make 8 trays of mac and cheese. So that'll be fun. There's usually 8 women that help, but like everybody's going to be gone, I guess, that week. So I think I'm flying solo, which is totally fine. I can handle it. I cook for 100 every time I cook anyway, so it's like not a big deal, you know. Out and about with Dave and Daisy, $10 super chat. Frankie's truck fuel fund. I raised 3 teen daughters. Why, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. There's Jen. She says, I'm here. I'm here. She's taking a life break right now. There we go. Dana Mason, hello. Back again. Had to deal with Emmy because she didn't want to take the elderberry syrup. Oh, teenagers. Oh, see? Yeah. My daughter says that my elderberry syrup tastes like Christmas and not in a good way. So I don't know what that means. She said it tastes like Christmas and old people. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But that's what she said. So I guess it tastes like Christmas and old people. I have no idea. Just saw that we may have another storm coming our way into Florida next week. I heard whispers about that, Neil. I heard something about that. I don't know. Yeah, she's eating old people now, or at least I think what she meant was like it to her it tastes like the way Christmas and old people smell, and that's what it tasted like. I think that's what she was trying to say. But who knows? She might be going around licking old people. I have no idea. She's not driving yet, MT. So we bought her a 72 Chevy, and it's a work in progress. And anyway, that will be her vehicle once she has her license. She's 14 now. She can get her permit in like a few months. In March, she'll be able to get her permit, and then a year later, she'll have her license. I cannot believe that. That's a crazy thing to say out loud, but yeah. So she's almost driving now. I mean, she drives. Like she drives Kenny everywhere around the property and works him better than anybody else. And she, we take her driving and practicing, and she's pretty good. Like usually with Mike, sometimes with me, we'll take her like the back road home. Like if we're in town, she knows the back way home, and she'll just take us on the back roads. And sometimes she drives the little car, Mike's car, and sometimes she's with me in the truck. And so it just depends. Yeah, but she's getting there. Larry Parrish, Sid, are your geese laying? Not right now. It's not that time of year. They won't lay until about May. Is usually when they'll lay like one clutch, and that's it. That's all they lay for the year. So, because of the kind of geese they are. So. Hey, I'm old. I know. Moldy and cinnamon. Yeah, I guess that must be the connotation there, that's it. I know. Well, she is. How many old people did she sample? She is. Church tonight is youth program is helping with bingo night at the old folks home. So she does have something to base that off of, I suppose. So I don't know. Otherwise, she drives her parents a bit crazy or drives Kenny. That's right. That's right. 100%. Oh, I know. Don't remind me. Don't blink. She'll be off to college. I know. College or the military or yeah, I know. She's grown up. She's almost fully cooked. I don't know how I feel about that because I just have the one. So like every stage that she's gone through is like that's it. That's the only time I'm gonna deal with that, or that's the only time that's gonna come up. That was it. So it's hard because yeah, it's hard. Emmy is 15, 16 in June, and she has no interest in driving due to what she sees on a daily basis when on the road with you. Oh my word. See, I know. I think Frankie's pretty excited to drive. So I'm old as well. I'm full of painkillers and Bengay. I love it. Well, I don't think my elderberry syrup tastes like that, but I mean, maybe. Community volunteering looks good on a college application. That's true. Unless she's eating the old people, then not so good. But yeah, that's right. That's right, Dana. I know. She's, I mean, I have like really no complaints about that child, nor have I ever. She went through one short phase when she was 5 that was a little bit of a struggle bus and it didn't last long. And then she went through another short phase right as she hit like an official teenager, which didn't last long. It was very short lived. And now she's back to fine again. You know, like, yeah, she has her days or whatever, like we all do, but like, she's a good kid. She works hard. She goes to church. She volunteers. She works. She does all the things. Like, no complaints. No complaints. Neil says he's sorry, MT, that he missed Sergeant's talk last night, but he didn't have any internet. I suppose that's a good excuse. We were having some thunder and lightning here. I thought it was going to be a lot worse, but it was pretty minimal. Like, I didn't even have to drug the dogs. Like, and we haven't had thunder and lightning in a while. Like, it's weird. Like, the first, I mean, really up until this summer, it was like every few days we'd have thunder and lightning storm. I felt like I was drugging the dogs every couple of days because they were losing their mind. And now we haven't had, you know, obviously we haven't had really rain in a while. We've had like, we had a little rain last week and we had a little rain today. And then I think we're supposed to have a little more rain in a day or so. Um, but yeah, nothing crazy. But yeah, I think, yeah, so I was talking to you guys about the trenching. That's right. I was like, I know I was telling you guys something. So they're going to come and do the trenching. And we're going to finish out fencing another area in the lower pasture. That's kind of, I guess, next to where the goats are now, going further towards the culvert. That whole bottom area is going to get fenced in. So we'll have another pasture to move them to. This is all just basically in preparation for the sheep, because then we can rotate them out. We want to put them all together as we build the flock, for getting the dogs used to the sheep, for getting the sheep handled so that I can deal with them, because that was one of our conversations that we had about getting younger lambs versus getting established ewes, because I'm like, if they're not friendly and they're super skittish and I can't work with them and they're out in this big pasture and I can't like get them to come to me, like, that's a problem, you know. Like, so my idea is that they're, you know, less sheepish if I've been able to kind of make them friendly, make them easy to handle and like used to people. So that's kind of my thing on that. So, oh, see, Jen says they have thunder, lightning, and lots of rain. So we had a little bit of rain. I don't think it's raining right now. I can't tell because it's dark out that window, but I don't hear it. I did hear a little bit of thunder a minute ago, but like, I saw lightning once and I heard like 2 very low distant rumbles. But Jen lives like 20 minutes from me. So sometimes it'll be raining there and like not here, or vice versa. So go figure. That's too bad. You've probably never had deviled goose eggs then. No, I have not. I've had, like last year when I had already lost my male. I obviously the eggs were not fertile, so I ate the goose eggs. Like, they were good. It was like duck eggs on steroids is how I would describe it. They're obviously huge, and then everything's just like in a duck egg. Like, the white is more mucusy and the yolk is just yolkier. That's the goose egg was like even more so. Like, you're talking a yolk that's like this big. You know, it's crazy. It's like 16 chicken eggs, you know. We definitely need this slow, steady rain. Maybe it will soak up. I hope so too. It's over $3,000 up here in Michigan for them to take driver's ed through the school. Told her, no hurry. We'll teach her out on the state land and then just go to the SAC. Oh, the sec of state at 18 for the test. Yeah. Secretary of State. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Frankie, they offer it in the school and it's part of the driver's ed program. So no biggie. Don't have to worry about that here. Let's see. Good night, Patty. Plus, buying lambs is cheaper than full grown. Yeah, Mike was looking at it like this. If we buy them closer to when they're ready to procreate, we're not putting like a year into them of just basically feeding them and like them being a money suck. But I'm like, they're not really a money suck because right now you're having to just bush hog everything and they would eat everything. So I'm trying to get him to understand that. And I think he finally does now because I was like, what is it that you think they're going to cost us? The fencing has to go up no matter what. Like the only thing would be, yes, we might have to give them some bales of hay in the winter, but we have other parts of the land that we've baled and can do. So it's not like it doesn't cost us anything. So anyway, that's my spiel on that. But yeah. So I rather have them and it's not and yes, they usually are cheaper, but like in his mind it was not enough of a difference compared to having to like feed them for a year. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Well, I'm all meted up and going to go lay down and probably just going to listen. Okay, Jen, sounds good. Hang in there. I will text you uh tomorrow. I should be able to be on our way to you at like 4:30 tomorrow afternoon. So, but I'll shoot you a text message when I'm headed that way. If you had an emu, you could make a quiche with one egg and sell the hollowed out eggs. That's true. I could, David. You are definitely making the case for me to get my beloved emu. I do want emus. I would love to have a pair of emus. I would love that. But I don't think that Mike would ever build me an enclosure with tall enough fences for emus. I think he would not go for that. They stopped driver's ed at our school, something about insurance costs. Yeah, see, like in California, we didn't have that. You had to have driver's ed, but you had to go to a private company because the schools didn't offer it. At least when I was a kid, and I don't think they do or they did at the school that Frankie would have been going to if we had stayed in California. Like you had to go hire a private company to and do driving school through them, driver's ed through them. So, and you had to do that in order to get the discounts on most of the insurance plans. Like they would charge you way more for insuring your teenage driver if they did not take that course. Which I mean, it's the same across the board. Like if she takes the one at the school, which she will, um, it'll help our insurance rate for her at that point. So now that you got all that land, you need haying equipment. Well, we don't have all that land yet. Um, I feel like Mike jumped the gun announcing that. He got excited. Um, it's it's definitely something that we are working on. It is something that the current owner wants to make happen for us, and so he's working with us. But it is not. Nothing has been inked yet. It's still working on the details. Still trying to like work it out. So I'm hopeful that we'll be able to make it work. Um, because I have well, I shouldn't say we have some really good plans for that property. But it's not a done deal yet. So I'm hoping that maybe by spring or definitely by summer, if we're going to be able to get it, we'll have it. That's my hope. But it's one of those, it's a process thing because it's not like your traditional like sale, I guess you could say. Because it's like a neighbor selling to a neighbor. So it's like, it's a little more like, we'll get around to it. You know how things are in the South. It's not like, oh, there's a little lightning. Um, so yeah, I would love to have flamingos. I would absolutely love that. I don't know if they would survive the cold down here. I would have to have a whole like atrium situation for them, but I heard that if you had an emu, you could get discounted car insurance from Liberty, Liberty, Liberty. Or wait, no, that's not the one that has the emu, or is it? Yeah, it is the one that has the emu. I think it is. I don't remember. One of them has an emu. Top and the bottom of the egg. Oh yeah. Well, you can do it on a chicken egg too. My grandmother used to do it because that's how they would. So she would take like just a chicken egg and like you poke a hole in it and then you poke a hole in the other end and then you like suck it out and then blow the rest of the egg out and you let it dry and then you can like paint it and it'll like stay nice forever. Like you clean it kind of on the inside and then I think she used to wash it with like vinegar and water or something like that to like, clean it out so it didn't stink. And then you could like paint it and like keep it. Um, and then I think she also one time tried using it as like a mold for like pouring chocolate in it. And I don't remember how that went because I would have been very little, but I do vaguely remember that. When I took driver's ed, it was 2 weeks in the summer, free through our school. Yeah, I remember my parents had to pay for it. So I don't know. Charlie the emu on Arms Family Farm, the height of the fence is no different than any other animal. Well, so yeah, but it does. So you do want it to be at least 6 feet. Whereas you can get away with having lower fences for like some of your other poultry or if you've got smaller goats. I have large breed goats, so I have taller fences because if I put like, a 4 or 5 foot fence, they could get over that, like even though they're not really climbers. So, but yes, it's you do want them to be at least 6 feet because they can like jump like high. So they always say it needs to be at least 6 feet. So let's see. Yeah, they don't have it at the schools in California. She already had one daughter go through it in California, so she knows. You can take driver's ed to get your permit. You had to take driver's ed to get your permit. Oh, see, not when I got my permit. It must have changed by the time Lexi made it through. So I do remember hearing something about that, but I don't know. Interesting. I'm guessing people paint them or something. Yeah, I think that's about it. That's what they do, Shiloh, once they hollow out the eggs. Yeah. Liberty DIY. Haven't jumped in here in a few months. Just wanted to say that after moving from Minnesota to Texas a year ago, it was awesome. That's great. I'm glad you're settling in nicely. That's awesome. Enjoying the no doubt warmer winter that you're about to have. Although, that Texas did have that one freak ice storm, but I guess it depends on which part of Texas you're in. My neighbor walks his emus like walking a dog. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Yeah, again, regular height depending on what you're talking about. If you've got them this tall, like you would have for some goat breeds or for sheep or for, maybe your poultry, it's not gonna necessarily hold an emu. Like, yes, you can like kind of tame them and train them to stay in that, but in theory, they can jump over that like without even hesitating. So you're supposed to have at least 6 foot fences. That's the thing. Hello, James. He says, "Hello, beautiful people." Yeah, I would love to have flamingos. I would love to have emus. Um, I would love that. I don't see it happening. Uh, maybe the emus I might be able to get away with at some point, but he would definitely notice flamingos. Like, for example, like one time, like when I ordered my geese, they sent me the wrong one, and I have Roderick, who's my tufted Roman, which I couldn't bring myself to process him or do anything with him because he's Roderick. Anyway, and he's a good little protector, and he just hangs out with the flock and he does his thing. He does not like it when the ducks mate. He is like the nun at the Catholic school coming by and whapping everybody. He does not enjoy them having sexy time. He gets very upset and he tells everybody about it. And then he goes and gets mad at the drake and tries to get him off of the hen. So I've had to intervene a few times so that they can have their time, so that I can have fertile eggs, so that I can have ducks. So yeah, he's bad about that. But other than that, but he was the wrong bird shipped. So and honestly, baby emus initially look a lot like heritage breed turkey poults. Enough that Mike wouldn't know the difference because he thinks all baby birds look the same. So I feel like I could maybe get away with that and just be like, oh, they shipped me the wrong birds. These don't look like turkeys. After a few months, I don't know. Like, I might be able to get away with that. I don't know. My computer fan is getting louder. See, I don't understand that. My rattle is loud tonight. That's so frustrating. I don't know. First of all, I don't know how it's like picking it up from the computer because the microphone's up here. So it's weird, like, that it does that. I have no idea. You had to take driver's ed, $430. It was a week. Then take the test at DMB, $45. Then hire a driving instructor for the $600 for 4 times before they could even use the permit. Then hold the permit. Oh my word, that's a lot. Hexid, your goats are infantry. They can crawl under fences instead of jumping over. I know. I have the only goats that don't jump or climb. They go under everything. Specifically Dan. Caroline and Anne don't really care. They're just happy to be walking around and whatever. They don't really care. But Dan is like, oh, I can go under this? Well, now I'm under here. And then he's mad that he's on the wrong side of the fence and can't figure out how to get back. And I'm like, why? So yeah, it's a whole thing with him. It really is. I know they are. He's probably got like a Purple Heart or something from going under the fence lines or whatever. I don't know. He's like, hold the permit for 6 months and then driving test $45, then pay another $45 for the license. Holy moly. It's nothing like that here. You can hear Mike now. What's up? Oh, what's up with, I thought you meant you can hear him on the phone. What's up with all the pink in the pen? I know, right? He'd be like, why are you ordering so much shrimp? What's going on? I know, I'll have to make the duck an hourly hotel room for the pen. I'm telling you. Crack me up. Well, so some of the ducks have been getting out because it's a 2-person job to catch them and do the duck's wings. Because the Muscovies in particular are like diggers because they're bush ducks. And so they have really like intense talons. And so they will start digging on you when you're trying to hold them when they know the jig is up. So you really need 2 people, 1 person to like steady the bird and 1 person to like cut the wing. So I haven't had a chance where anybody could help me do it. So as a result, the younger ones know that they can fly now, and they have been flying out and doing whatever. So the other day when we were processing the turkeys, they were far away, so I couldn't tell for sure. I knew one for sure was a drake, but the other one I couldn't tell because it was like out of my field of view too fast. And I was like, oh, I think those are 2 of the younger drakes. I think they're fighting because they were like chasing each other, and then he was like not flying, but like scraping his wings and running on the ground. And then he finally caught up to the other bird. The other bird came out from behind a tree or something. And I was like, oh, they're not fighting. She does not consent. Like, it was a whole thing. And yeah, and then we went down the whole road. Mike had to hear me talking about, duck fornication again and how fascinated with their anatomy that I am. For those of you that don't know, I'll just briefly touch on it. There's 3% of birds, of the male species of birds, that actually have a thing. And it's on ducks, it's like a corkscrew that looks like a piece of intestine, and it whips out and hits the cloaca on the hen, and then it does its thing, and then it spirals back out and kind of goes back up. And in the hens, their vent goes the other way, so they can and it splits, so they can close it off if they don't like the drake that they're with, if they don't want him to be the father of the babies. It's fascinating. It's a whole thing. Anyway, that's your lesson for today. Ask for forgiveness, not permission. I've done that a few times. I've done that with cats many times. In fact, with all of the cats we have now, I have done that. I have not done it with anything else in a while. I have done it with geese before. Yeah, but I try not to make him too mad. Kind of off-colored quail. I must have missed something. Where is the diva? He's in his office on the phone for work still. I'm surprised you guys can't hear him because he's not quiet when he's on the phone. Everything's on speakerphone and everything's at full volume because he's deaf. So I can hear him like he's sitting next to me almost right now. He's loud. Driver's ed was an extra study hall in Raleigh, Mississippi in 1983, taught by the head football coach who was Bobby Hall at the time. Tim Mason will know who I'm referring to. Oh, maybe. There you go. The emu, no, the flamingos. I missed something. I don't know, Dawn. I don't know what I missed. The Birds and the Bees by Sid. That's right. I'm telling you. Now I'm really grossed out. Sorry, it's biology. It's science. It's science. Trust the science. It's actual, it's factual. I've seen it with my own eyes many times. I will stop everything I'm doing when the ducks are mating, and I will just sit there and watch it and pretend I'm Richard Attenborough. I love it. I love every second of it. I love the entire mating ritual. I love when they try to drown each other. It's fascinating when they do their post cleanup in the pond. I love it. It's amazing. The whole thing. The whole thing is amazing. And you can always tell when it's a young drake versus a seasoned drake because his aim is not as good when he's young. And so the whole process takes a lot longer than when he's been around the block a few times. It's fascinating. I know. Not safe for work. This topic is not safe for work, but it's fascinating. It's just science. It's science. Fences have to be tight to keep the critters from going under them. Might want to use the side by side to tighten them up. We did. We had done that when we pulled the fencing. We had a 2x4 at the end of it, attached it, and we pulled it as tight as we could. The problem is that ground slopes, and we had to cut a section of the fence later on, and over time it just, those T-post clips only hold so well, really. If you look at how they are, things kind of give way over time, and the ground kind of shifted a little bit underneath, so there was room to just whoosh. So, you know. Oh, you were saying they're just extra large quail. I get it. Emus are just extra large quail. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. Yeah. I mean, they could kill you with one kick. But I enjoy a certain amount of stupid danger like that. So, you know, like most days, I every day I tell Beulah, I love you so much. Why don't you love me? She loves me, I think, as much as she can love anybody. But I think most days, she likes our routine. She's not mean to me, but she's not affectionate. Like, her not being mean is her version of affection, if that makes sense. Like she lets me clean out her eye boogers every morning. She lets me brush her every morning. She lets me do whatever, but it's like, and she doesn't give me a hard time. But like, she's not like, "Oh, let me come up and rub on you, mommy." She's not like that. Like, she'll come and put her head on my shoulder if we're walking, but like, that's so rare that she even does that. She's just not affectionate. And I'm just like, I just want you to love me. And I lay on her every day and I tell her, I'm like, Beulah, why don't you love me? So, yeah, just tell him the shrimp I'm buying her for next year's trout fishing trip. That's right. I'm just doing him a favor. That's it. I've only done that once, and it was a mini lop bunny. Texted Rob in the parking lot at work and said, I I did something. Please don't divorce or kill me. Once he had him, I was forgiven. That's funny. Shrimp boil. There you go. 5-minute warning. Thank you. All my animals love me. I hope so. I think most of them do. I know my goats do. I know my dogs do. Like my outside dogs. Obviously, my inside dogs do. Obviously, Bunko adores me. I'm his person. But like Beulah just she doesn't love anybody. I'm convinced of that. Like we've been together now a year. She doesn't particularly she likes Frankie, but she's Frankie has said she's like she's your horse mom. She picked you. She doesn't like me the way she likes you. And I'm like, and she barely likes me. Like she's not like she's just not an affectionate horse. I don't know. She's just not. So, but we love her and we take care of her and we love on her every day. And she doesn't like other horses. She tolerates some other animals sometimes briefly, but she really likes to be alone. So yeah, she's funny. Like she used to at least occasionally go and kind of love on the goats. She's totally over them now. And the dogs. She won't go near them. She wants nothing to do with them. So I'm like, all right, well, there's that. Are we talking about Frankie getting upset with attention? No. No. I mean, but she's got a forever home here. Beulah's not going anywhere. We're gonna let her live out her crusty, musty, dusty days and love on her every day like I do. And like I said, she's as affectionate as she can be. Like she comes when I call her and she lets me love on her, but she's not like, you know those horses that just like they want love and they come over and they nuzzle and they do all. She's not that horse. She's just not that horse. So she's yeah. Like my neighbor's horse comes over to the fence line most mornings and wants attention from me and wants love and cuddles. And like Beulah's not like that. Like she'll come over to the fence line. If she sees me come outside, she'll call for me. Like she'll come over and yell at me to come love her. And then when she's had enough love, she's like, nope, and she walks away. And I'm like, okay, I don't know why'd you call me over here? Like that's just how she is. Bless her. I do love her though. She is a hoot. She's, she's set in her ways. Yeah, basically. I mean, she's already like, what, she's 15 now. She's been alone for like well over half her life. Um, that's how she's an independent woman. She's like one of those cat ladies. That's just her. She doesn't need a man. She's fine. She's just like, that's just her thing. So, ah. Ooh, Yellowstone. I can't wait to watch Yellowstone. We haven't watched the first episode yet. I'm hoping tonight, when I get back from picking up the kids, that we'll be able to watch Yellowstone. So we'll see. Anyway, guys, it's no longer my time to shine. It's time for someone else. I think Pretty and Pooch are going live, and then you've got Empty Homestead, And then you got Bryan Vineyard Farmhouse. So you got lots of stuff to hang out with tonight. I appreciate you guys. I'm gonna watch Yellowstone now because I've been waiting days for that. So I appreciate you guys. I hope you have a blessed rest of your week. And as always, remember, safety's off. And first of all, I'm a delight. Peace out.